You miscalculate a grocery total by exactly $3. You bounce a single payment, and the bank immediately hits you with a $35 fee for the crime of being short on cash. If you have a large enough balance at that same bank, the rules change. A personal representative calls just to ask how your kids are doing, and the bank sends a gift basket of artisanal fruit to your house for the holidays. The American financial system operates on a quiet, inverted rule. The cost of a service is priced according to how much you actually need it. The less you have, the more you pay for the privilege of getting it. This ladder tracks a journey from $0 to $25 million. As we climb these rungs, the way you are treated by the people around you, from baristas to bankers, physically and psychologically shifts at every level. Your daily experience is dictated by a hidden financial number that most people can't even see. At the absolute bottom of the ladder, $0 or a negative net worth doesn't earn you pity. It earns you suspicion. You are followed down store aisles, and landlords demand months of cash up front precisely because you have none. This chart shows the poverty premium. Someone unable to afford $50 boots buys a $10 pair every November. Over 10 years, they spend $100. The person affording the $50 boots stays dry for 10 years, avoiding a $50 deficit for lacking upfront cash. According to data from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, a payday loan can carry an annual percentage rate of 400%. At the bottom of the ladder, your financial condition becomes the reason you can't escape it. You aren't just poor, you are a problem to be managed, resulting in a quiet tax bled from you every month. Move up to the median American wealth tier, roughly $50,000 to $100,000. Here, you are the bullseye of the entire consumer economy. You are no longer a suspect, but you are processed as a transaction. When you fly, you are in boarding group 9. If there's a problem with your flight, you are shoved into a phone tree and a script read by an agent who has zero power to help you. Because this tier lacks overt cruelty, most people accept this bare minimum treatment as the natural state of the world. They assume this is simply how the world works. In reality, the system is gently farming you for profit. You are kept happy enough to remain a customer, but you are entirely invisible to the people running the machinery. Cross $250,000 in assets and something new happens. A bank assigns you a specific human being whose literal job is to remember your name and keep you happy. This is the profit line. Below it, every minute a company spends on you costs them money, so they use automated menus. Above that line, every minute they spend keeping you happy makes them money. The phone tree disappears and the VIP treatment begins. Push the ladder up to $5 million, and the word no starts to vanish. Sold-out restaurants find a table, doctors offer same-day appointments and their personal cell phone numbers. Psychologists at Berkeley watched people play a rigged game of Monopoly, where one player was handed twice the starting money. When they won, those players didn't credit the rules, they credited their own smart decisions and strategy. Wealth eventually smooths reality out so completely that it becomes impossible to remember the game is tilted. You believe you're just good at walking through doors, forgetting that someone is holding them open for you. At $25 million, you enter the top quarter of 1%. Here, people build family offices, entire organizations whose only client is you. They handle your travel, your staff, and your daily life. By removing every friction of normal life, you also remove the points of contact with the rest of humanity. You can go days without a single unscripted interaction with someone who isn't on your payroll. For a decade, the famous answer was that happiness flatlines after you earn enough to cover the basics. But newer research showed that for most people, joy keeps rising alongside income. The researchers eventually reconciled their findings. Money flawlessly fixes problems that are made of money. But for those carrying grief or loneliness, more wealth lands silently. It cannot reach an internal wound that has no price tag. Wealth buys you out of every waiting room, but it can place you behind a lonely pane of glass. Everyone is nice to you, but you can no longer trust if any of it is real. A man named Nathan spent 9 years at the same coffee shop as an invisible customer. When he sold his business for millions, the barista suddenly knew his name. Nathan realized he couldn't enjoy the smile because he kept wondering if it would vanish if his account went to zero. Compare Nathan at the top to Denise at the bottom. There is a dark symmetry. Denise can't trust the world because it keeps taking. Nathan can't trust it because it only gives. Both end up in the exact same state of alienation. Money changes how the world treats you, but it cannot guarantee who will be there when the money is gone. Build genuine connections on the way up, because it's almost impossible to build them once you're already behind the glass.